Welcome to Fred Achando Analysis, ladies and gentlemen. There is palpable tension within the country. The calls for maandamano is really gaining momentum. Those who voted for William Ruto, those who never voted for him, they are united under one banner. Unga revolution. They want food on the table. Things are not good. The government is putting a brave face. It is as if they are not scared about what is looming in the offing on Monday. But behind that courageous facade lies a scared administration, because whatever they are doing, their reactions portray someone who is desperately looking for Raila Odinga so that they can have a truce. Today, Raila made good his promise to go to Kiambu, and the Kiambu residents responded positively. The rallies were thronged by a mammoth crowd. But the government's reaction today has convinced me beyond reasonable doubt that this government is worried about what will happen on Monday. In the first incident was that of Githurai, where some hired goons went and destroyed that podium where the Azimio leaders were to conduct their rallies and to talk to their people. But the one that is more worrying is the one where a police officer, should I say a rogue police officer, threw tear gas canister into a crowd when Wajakoya was speaking.
Na kuna wao wanaongeza ugali kwenda juu, na mimi nasikia hapa Kiambu peke yake kwanza kuna Waluya milioni 2, si ni kweli? Na kuna Wajaluo milioni 1, si ni kweli? Na kuna Wakikuyu wengi sana, si ni kweli? Wewe mtu wa tear gas, wewe polisi, wacha kurusha tear gas kwa wananchi wewe. Wachana na tear gas wewe polisi. Wachana na tear gas kabisa wewe. Hii mkutano ni amani. Hii mkutano ni amani wewe. Wacha kuleta ufala kwa mkutano. Wewe, hii ni kusema ya kwamba watu wote wa Kiambu tarehe 20 mjitokee mpiganie haki yenu. Ama namna gani? Ama namna gani?
Jameni, Kiambu tuendelee tusiendelee? Yaani askari polisi anatupia former prime minister tear gas, anatumia wananchi wasio na shida yoyote tear gas. Vile Madha alisema, naomba tusikilizane. Yule officer today, yule officer wa polisi ambaye ako in charge of the rest, huyo tunataka jina yake directly ipelekwe Hague mapema, because inasema the officer yule ambaye ana bear responsibility, na tunampatia hata onyo Inspector General of Police na Gachagua, kwa tunajua Gachagua amefanya mkutano asubuhi na watu. Hatutaki woga. Wangapi watu wa Kiambu wanasema hatutaki woga? Kwa hivyo nataka niwahakikishie Wakenya wenzangu, maandamano ya Jumatatu yatakuwa ya amani, lakini polisi wasifanye yale wamefanya hapa Kiambu. Huo ni woga mtupu. Mimi ni wakili senior, Madha ni senior counsel, Eugene hapa ni...
You know, these worrying trends simply tells me one thing. William Samoei Ruto could be thinking in his wildest imagination that on Monday he can destroy the Azimio rallies. That on Monday he can use some very unfamiliar tactics to destroy the rallies. It will not be very easy, I can assure you. Now, whatever happened today was to test the level of preparedness and the level of readiness from the Azimio fraternity, because they waited when Wajakoya was speaking, because they knew that they had started the hierarchy. Maybe Wajakoya was now going to hand over to the other Azimio official partners, maybe to now people like Oparanya going forward. Now, they all took cover after that tear gas was thrown, and then they sent a clear message, very loud, to show the whole country, to show the global world that that rally is meant to go on smoothly. That was the message. And I can assure you that it backfired on them. So that message went clear. And I hope Joe Biden is watching, Meg Whiteman was watching, Jane Marriott was watching, and the whole NATO group was watching. All those who assisted President William Samoei Ruto to ascend to office were watching. One thing that was also very clear is that the Azimio responded by telling them that we are not cowards. We cannot be cowed, because they expected that after throwing that tear gas canister, then that meeting would end abruptly. They would start driving off. But that is not the Azimio. Do you know why? The Azimio knows very well that they have got people behind them. They know very well that even those who did not vote for William Samoei Ruto are joining this rally because they want to demand from the government the right to have food security and clean water. So they know very well that they are just leaders, but the following behind them is very strong. William Ruto could be sending a strong message to the Azimio that this is just an a tip of an iceberg, that on Monday, if you try this, then there will be more of tear gas lobbying in the crowd. And if you're not careful, it would even be rubber or live bullets, because it was a kind of a coded message. And so there are people who, because in their mind they think that there are people who may be afraid, and they will say that in light of the tear gas that was thrown there, it might be messy, so I will not go, because they really want to ensure that they thwart these rallies, especially the mega rally that will take place on Monday. So I think it was also sending a very coded message. I also believe, in my very considered opinion, that William Ruto is trying to force Raila Amolo Odinga to sit down with him, and that is why he's throwing all these tear gas canisters. So Raila could even go and start asking, why do you want to injure my people in a rally that is peaceful? Because anything that can initiate a talk will be very beneficial to William Samoei Ruto, because as we speak, Raila is under intense pressure from the international community, from the international friends, from the local friends, business community, and I believe they are asking him, is there a way out of this? Can we solve this without going to the streets? And so I believe this is something that William Ruto is doing. In a sense, he's also trying to show him a sense of authority, that in as much as you go around doing this, we have the police. So if you try anything messy, if you try anything mischievous, just know that we have the police that will fully meet your people with brutal force. But I have always told you that the Azimio has got the masses behind them, the power of the police and the power of the people. Which one is bigger? But if you ask me from where I sit, this is a very petty tactics. It is very unnecessary, because by the end of the day, those who gathered there, some of them are Kenya Kwanza supporters, others are Azimio supporters. All they are asking for is to get their rights. All they are asking for is to get an audience with the president, because it seems that the president does not understand what is happening. Just recently, President William Samoei Ruto made 20 appointments, and you can imagine what that would mean to us. Every office with a secretariat, with security. So they say there is no money, but they keep on appointing people, rewarding their cronies. So all that Kenyans want is to have an audience with them and petition their grievances. So by throwing tear gas, you are doing nothing, because this will not solve the problem. You cannot kill everyone who is asking for food. You cannot kill everyone who is asking for security. You cannot kill everyone who is asking you, where are the promises that you gave when you were campaigning? You cannot, kill a hustler who's just coming to remind you, sir, this is what you told us when you were campaigning. Where are the promises? Look here. The last thing that I want to say, I don't know why I'm the only person who feels that this is a very simple exercise. Open the server. Who won these elections? Is it Raila? Is it William Samoei Ruto? Who really won the elections? The server will speak. And then get down to making sure that you lower the cost of living. Politics will not help. Blame game will not help. Shifting goalposts will not help. Do the right thing. The last time I checked, the president and the deputy president were men of God who are chosen by God. They keep on praying for the rains. I don't know whether it is as a result of their prayers or it was just a meteorological predictions that we have the rains. Men of God behave differently. Don't throw tear gas to people who just want to know the truth. Open the server. Period. Joe Biden, the NATO, and all the group that assisted the man at the helm of the Kenyan affairs, come now and open the servers, and Kenya will be free. Let us speak the truth, and the truth shall set us free. I don't know what you think, but that is my take.